My name is Nat Alexander. I'm a Senior Associate Solicitor here at Clarity Simplicity, and I'm going to talk to you briefly about what's involved when selling your property, and in particular, when you should be speaking to a solicitor. Typically, most people will make that decision to sell their property, and thereafter, the next normal step is to speak to an estate agent. Now, you'll want to speak to 2 or 3 estate agents, get them out, value your property, and they can talk you through what they are going to cost. Most estate agents, if not all, will also include the cost of the home report. Now, the home report is carried out by a surveyor, not the estate agent, but they will, as I say, normally include that in their fee quote. When you do make the decision with which estate agent you're going to use, they will then begin the process of marketing your property. They will put it online, take your photographs, do everything that's necessary, as well as have the surveyor attend, have the home report carried out, because you need that before you can put it on the market. Now, I haven't as yet mentioned about speaking to a solicitor. It's not unusual for people to actually wait until they receive an offer on their property before actually instructing a solicitor. But I would take you back to the very beginning and suggest that this is perhaps the best time to speak to a solicitor. So, when you're actually coming to the decision about wanting to sell your property, even before you've decided that you do want to do that, I would suggest that this is the best time to speak to your solicitor, and there are reasons for that. Eventually, when you do sell your property and you have an offer which you like, that offer, when it's in written form, is the start of the formal missive process, and it's your solicitor who deals with the missives for you. Your solicitor acts on your behalf, but under your instruction, and your solicitor will bring the missives being the contract for the sale of the property. Your solicitor will negotiate those and bring them to conclusion on your behalf. In order for the solicitor to be able to do that, they need more information simply than the price on the property and even just the date on which the sale is to go through. And this is why an early discussion helps with ensuring a smooth transaction. So if we go back to the very start and you're thinking about selling your property, you're thinking about when you're going to sell, getting it on the market, which estate agent you're going to use, and you'll be aware of the home report. Now, we as your solicitor can advise you on all of that. We're aware of everything that goes on in the transactional process, and we can indeed recommend estate agents to you, as well as surveyors if required. But in addition, it's very helpful for us as solicitors if we're able to get information and indeed copies of the titles to your property. Along with that, we'll need to know whether you have a mortgage on your property, and if so, we'll need to know who the lender is and what the mortgage account number is. In addition, there are other contractual requirements and evidence which we need to offer to the purchasing solicitors so that they can carry out their full examination of title on behalf of their client. If there have been alterations at the property, for instance, carried out within the last 20 years, even if out with your period of ownership, the responsibility is on you as the seller to provide the necessary local authority paperwork. And this can create some issues as part of the transaction. Typically, missives won't be concluded until all evidential paperwork is supplied between parties and the position agreed. So even if, as I say, alterations, for instance, have been carried out within 20 years prior to your period of ownership, it's still your obligation as the seller to provide this paperwork. Now, we as your solicitor will make those investigations if you don't have it. We can contact the local authority and get copies of the paperwork. Now, this might seem slightly unfair if it's not you who's carried out the work, but that's where the responsibility lies. And that's why it's important you speak to your solicitor as early as possible, so that we can have this information to hand as soon as a suitable offer comes in. In addition to alterations, things such as specialist works carried out at the property, dry rot, wood rot, damp proofing. If you have guarantees